Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be going through my whole full strategy. So, people that want to learn from my strategy, this is literally my full strategy of how I look for trades, how I see the market. If you still got questions after this video, I don't know for you. I'm always going to refer you back to this video because this is literally how I see the market, how I trade the market. With that being said, let's get into the video. So now, the market for me, how I look at it is literally just support and resistance, yeah? So we all know what support and resistance is. Price is just moving in between support and resistance, essentially, within the market. In the zoomed in time frame or zoomed in perspective, price might be in this part of the market, which is trending upwards, bullish. Sometimes price might be zoomed into this part and it's moving downwards. Or sometimes we zoom out and look at the full picture, then price might be ranging. But price is always the three things for me, the main things, or the four things I'll say. Price is either is always respecting support or resistance, or resistance support. It's either ranging, it's either trending up or it's trending down. That's literally what the market does. So that's how I see the market from a broad point of view. Now to get a bit more technical, I get more in depth. So when the market is ranging sideways, all I'm looking to do is short it from the top to the bottom, or long it from the bottom to the top, essentially. Yeah. When the market is in an uptrend, all I'm looking to do is benefit of the uptrend. Once price makes a higher and it pulls back, I'm looking to get in on this pullback. So essentially in this type of level here, so you want to get in on the pullback. When it's an uptrend, you don't want to be buying high, you want to buy low. That's the aim of the game. Buy low, sell high. So you want to be buying when it pulls back, and then when I want to come out is, for me, like I said, I trade support and resistance. So I'm always coming out at the next level of resistance in an uptrend market, whether it's going to be that level or it's that level. I'm always coming out like that. When market is going down and trending down, then same thing or opposite. I'm looking at getting in on a pullback, and then I'm looking to target the next level of support resistance, whether it could be that level or could be that level, something like that. That's literally how I'm looking to get in the three type of markets structures. Either bullish market, bearish market, or ranging market. That's how I look to get in and capitalize off those three type of market conditions. So now I've given you that broad kind of view of the stick tool. Now we can look at the charts and see how I actually think of the markets and how I do my top-down analysis also, from the weekly to the daily to the 4 hour to the 1 hour. Because a lot of people think, let's say, I'm going to say this now even before I get into it. So the weekly and the daily are the two key time frames essentially that I'm looking at. They're always key in doing the top-down analysis, weekly and daily. The 4 hour is also key, but sometimes I can skip the 4 hour and go straight to the 1 hour, depending where price is at. So if the weekly and daily is clear, and let's say I'm waiting for, say the weekly and daily is clear and I know price is in an uptrend, and I'm waiting for the pullback to a daily level. So the weekly is clear, daily's level, I can see I'm waiting for a pullback to the daily level. That's when I go past the 4 hour. I won't, in this instance, let's say this is my level of interest on the daily, yeah? And I'm looking obviously to capitalize and look for longs. This is when I'll go past the 4 hour. I'm not looking at the 4 hour now. I'm gonna go straight to the 1 hour. And what I want to see is my 1 hour break of structure at this daily level. Then I'll look to long it up into my target. Do you know what I'm saying? And vice versa for if price is in a downtrend and Same thing for if price is in the range as well. And obviously aiming for them same type of places. So sometimes I might bypass the 4 hour, go straight to the 1 hour. And then sometimes, let's say if I can't get an entry off the 1 hour because price doesn't give me an opportunity, that's when sometimes I'll go to the 4 hour and I'll wait for a break and retest on the 4 hour. But we'll get into that. So like I said, you want to be doing your weekly top-down analysis, daily, and then so on and so forth. So weekly, this is where I'm starting at. You want to get your support and resistance drawn on, like I have as such. Got that drawn on, so I know where the market's at, I know the levels on the weekly. And the thing I do is I have them drawn on the weekly and they're only shown on the weekly. So if I go to the daily, these are daily levels on here, plotted on. I can't see the weekly levels from the daily. On the weekly, I can't see the daily levels on the weekly. I keep them time frame by time frame. But what to mention, weekly is shown on the weekly, daily is shown on the daily only, but the daily also is shown on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. And then the 1 hour is obviously just for the 1 hour, 4 is just for the 4 hour. But the daily is the only time frame where it's shown on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Because the daily is obviously important. Like I said, if price is pulling back to the daily level, I need it to be showing so I can see where I'm getting in on the 1 hour or the 4 hour. And that's also what I'm targeting is the daily level. So I need it to be shown on the 4 hour 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So that being said, now I can get straight into the analysis and what I'm looking for. So you guys know I trade support and resistance. If you don't, from what I've just told you and talked about before the first 5 minutes, I trade support and resistance. So treating it as support and resistance, I'm taking everything level by level. Something can be ranging or something can be trending rather, but I'm still taking it level by level. So this is what I had to learn the hard way as well. This has all just been trial and error and everything. So in this instance, let's say when price was back here, start new, boom. Okay, you can say price had a double bottom, we broken structure, we had a break and retest, and we obviously know structure's broken, the structure's now bullish. So some people might use like a Fibonacci tool. That's something I don't use. I did use in the past, when I first started trading, but not anymore. And say, okay, there's a fib extension. If you do from the low to the high retest, this might be a 50 fib, and then we can see price potentially coming here, potentially higher. That's something I don't do because I just feel like support and resistance works better. So in this circumstance, I'll be waiting for potential longs because I can see prices bullish. We're at support. I'll be looking for potential longs into the next weekly level resistance. So I take it level by level. The next weekly resistance is here. So once that's hit, I'm not looking for longs no more. Do you know what I'm saying? And then obviously I'll take it level by level. So like I said, if this level then breaks above, then obviously I'll look to long to the next level, and then so on and so forth. So I literally take it level by level. So, and then obviously if we forward, we didn't touch it yet. Price now touches it, so I won't be looking for longs no more. And then boom. See, that's how the weekly closed. So we didn't break out of it, so we can't look for continuations, even though we are bullish and we're in a break and retest. So what you can see, price is like stalling in between this level. Tapped it once, 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 and then we're anticipating for that to come into here. Do you know what I'm saying? So got to take it level by level. So that's a little insight of how I look at a weekly. So let's just take it to where price is at now. So price is finally broken out of this level after being in this consolidation. So now we've got a clear level we can aim for here. So that's literally all I do in a weekly, yeah? I've got my weekly levels on. I know price is in a little uptrend since breaking the structure. I'm doing this kind of like triple bottom here. Higher high, higher low, consolidation, broken out cleanly. Now we've got level of resistance we can aim for there. So I'd be like, okay, cool. In the back of my mind, or I might write on the text, I'm looking for longs up into 1.3968. That's like the level weekly resistance. But also in the back of my mind, what I'm thinking is we made a higher high, an uptrend. Higher high, higher low, higher high. It's potential that because we've had this consolidation here, price is broken out of it, there's also potential for it to pull back into this level before continuing the uptrend. Do you know what I'm saying? Because price obviously doesn't just move straight up in a straight line. You have pullbacks and retracements. So in the back of my mind, even though we haven't hit level of resistance yet, I'll be knowing that there is a potential for price to pull back. So I'm planning for like 2 scenarios, because essentially you don't know what's going to happen in the market. You've got to just plan, scenario kind of plan, and then have your trading system. Once the requirements are met, then you enter and manage it accordingly. Do you know what I'm saying? Trust me, you learn the hard way. You don't know what's going to happen in the market. Market direction is kind of like easy to analyze and say, okay, I can say it's going up. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a trend market. But the specifics of what's going to happen at what time, bro, nobody knows. It's just an educated guess. Do you know what I'm saying? So, boom. Like I said, scenario planning, back to what I'm saying, scenario planning. Now I've got, okay, a scenario for price potentially coming into this level, and then I've got a scenario for price potentially pulling back into this level. So that's for all I need of the weekly now. Then to the daily. And this is something I do because I'm comfortable with it, and I found it being comfortable. That's how I'm comfortable with it. So as you can see here, I said got a chance for shorts, but only on reversals. So because I know the weekly structure is bullish, and I know the overall, like I said, market structure is bullish, the only way I want to look for shorts is if we get a reversal. So reversals for me that I trade is either a double top, then I'll wait for the breaker structure, for the break and retest, or a reverse head and shoulder. So obviously you guys know reverse head and shoulder is the head, right shoulder, and obviously got the left shoulder. And then obviously we have to see the breaking neckline and the breaking retest. That way, that's how I look to enter. So once price is on a weekly, let's say it's bullish, I know, okay, from the daily, the only way I'm looking to short it is if we get a reversal. The reason I put that rule in place for me is because I found sometimes I'm like too eager if I see a big drop. So let's say I see a big drop. This creates a level, price close like that on a daily. I see a big drop, and I'm too like biased to looking to short on a break and retest maybe to, okay, I'll say, okay, cool, price gonna pull back into here. And sometimes all it is that price just gives us a deeper pullback, and then it just shoots back up. You know what I'm saying? To essentially made a higher low. So that's why I said to myself, okay, cool. The only way I'll look to see if I can short is if we get a reversal, and that's something that works for me. Now, obviously, on the contrary, if I'm looking for longs, because I know the weekly trend is bullish anyway, I don't have to wait for a reversal. All I want to see is a break and retest. So entry types, potentially if price pulls back to this level of support, then I see what I like to see, then I could look to long it. Another alternative is price making a higher low now, potentially. So if you get a break and retest there, then we could look to long it to this daily level. And obviously we want to see that lines up on the daily. Boom. You want to see that 13968. That'll basically be hit there. So I'll aim for this daily level, and I'll be like, okay, 13968 is achieved. I'm not looking for longs past this level, because this is the daily level, but we also know that the weekly level is 13968, and that's essentially this kind of level and range here. So for me, that's something else, that's a key that I do. So let's say I see, and I'm bullish on this, yeah, but I'm only bullish up until 1.3968. Reason being, because if I see price push higher than that, it's not confirmed yet on the weekly that price is going to continue high. So yeah, you could get some short-term kind of longs or short-term kind of buys, but it's not confirmed that price is going to hold above this level, because who knows, at the end of the week or midweek or whatever day price can just start shooting back downwards. Do you know what I'm saying? Then you come to the end of the week, and then at the week we've got this big wick and a close below the level. So it's like, don't be too fast, innit? So that's like my kind of rules. Like I said, I play it level by level. So if it hasn't broken a weekly level, I'm not going to trade past it on the daily. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing to mention. But yeah, I'll be looking for longs up into this level, and potentially shorts on a reversal, potentially back down to here. That's literally how I play it. So a trade example I can give you guys is literally a trade that I had this month, maybe like last 2 weeks ago. on here. So I'm gonna show you the criteria of why it was actually an entry and a good entry, from what I've just mentioned of how I trade my system. Yeah, cool. So like I said, I know structure is bullish. Let's even go back to when it was, which was this week. So boom, I know structure is bullish. We just had this triple bottom here, respect to this level, broken structure with this close above here. Came back into this like neckline, you could say it's a double bottom neckline, bounced off it. Yeah, so I know we're bullish, but where price is at right now, price is in this range. So as you can see, we've tapped the top, tapped the bottom of the range, tapped the top, tapped the bottom of the range, tapped the top, and like I said, we've taken it level by level. So we've had a doji close here. If we've had a strong weekly close out of there, then that gives us argument to say, okay, now we can look for potential continuation longs into this level on the daily. But because we haven't closed out this level and we've closed in it, and we know you can see a range is forming or has formed already, that gives me the confidence to be like, okay, I'm not looking at there's two reasons I'm not looking at longs when I go to the daily. So this is another thing I'll say. So sometimes there's the chart gives you, or the market gives you ways where you can have scenario planning for two scenarios, like I just had when I just showed you previously, an argument for why the price can pull back out when price broken out, or why price can continue. But in this scenario, there's no argument for me to say why price can continue up, and there's no argument because of these two reasons. One, price has not broken out of this weekly level, of this weekly level resistance. We haven't broken above it, so our weekly level is plotted on here, as you can see, tap, 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 tap here, price has been respected it. And then we even know here, price is in the range. So even though price is bullish, structure is bullish, that doesn't mean I'm only looking for buys, because you can see here, price is ranging. We haven't even broken this weekly level. So there's no reason to look for buyers. We know price is ranging. This is the second reason, because price isn't, that's the first one, is price hasn't broken out of resistance. Second one now, it's because price is ranging and we're at the top of the range. We've respected it with this doji. So what I can anticipate and see happening is price dropping back to this level. That's literally the only thing. So I'll go to the daily and I'll plan around that. And if it doesn't happen, then fair enough. Price might break out. I don't have a trade for the week. Do you know what I'm saying? But at least I'm following that top-down analysis. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's how you become, or that's how you'll get more higher probability setups, I'll say. So boom. Now we know what I'm looking for, yeah? I'm looking for shorts only because of everything I mentioned, yeah? So now I'll go to the daily. I'm like, cool. And remember what I said as well. I only look for shorts, or I only look to go against the trend if I see a reversal. And what do you see? Lo and behold here, got a head and shoulders. So remember I was just saying, me personally, I don't like going against the weekly trend unless there's a reversal. Now there's a reversal, head and shoulders, rejected it, and it's trending, it's ranging, sorry, on the weekly. So boom, that gives us the confirmation for me, I need from the weekly and daily to look for shorts now on the lower time frames. So confluences for this target as the level, we know the weekly is ranging, so this is the range support. Also on the daily, this is the head and shoulder neckline, so that's confirmation for why I would aim for there. And then we go over to the 4 hour. So instances like this, when price is, the only time I go straight to the 1 hour, like I said, is if price does a break and retest and I'm waiting for price to pull back into here, then I'll be watching the 1 hour. In this instance, because price has already come to this level, we've seen the confirmation, the rejection of this level, price has already come to the level, so I can't get in on the 1 hour because it's like already happened type of thing, do you know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking to like get onto the trade. So trades like that where I'm looking to get onto the trade, I've already got the confirmation, price is not pulling back to a level, that's when I go to the 4 hour. So for something like this, my setup comes, I'm not looking on the 1 hour at all, I go straight to the 4 hour. So boom, I'm waiting for a break and retest on a 4 hour or a reversing shoulder. You know what I'm saying? That's literally my two setups on the 4 hour. Boom. What do we see here? We've got a break of structure, but what do we also have is head and shoulder. Boom. So that's my entry now. As soon as I see something like this forming, I'd be like, okay, cool. I'm waiting for price to come into this here to make the right shoulder. If we get a 1 hour, actually, that's when I do look to 1 hour. Then I'll look for 1 hour rejection. Then I look to short it, and I put my price or my stops at the high, wherever the high of the right shoulder or left shoulder wick is, I'll put it. But because this one is the highest right now, I'll put it there. And obviously we know I'm targeting for the low or low the range and head and shoulder neckline. But this wasn't actually the entry because this had already happened. You know what I'm saying? Because this is, if we're looking on here, that would be if we got in once price came to the level. But we already know price had already come to the level. So price had already was up to this level already. So we're looking to enter on this on the Monday, the 15th, where I got the trade. So this had already happened. So by the time Monday came, price has already done the reverse in the shoulder. So because that's the instant and that's the circumstance now for this, all I'll do is I'll look on the 1 hour, wait for a confirmation candle, get in, then I'll put my stops the same place, the high, which I did there, boom. And then you just have the same targets and then boom, there. And then that was a like 3.2 hour trade that hit. But yeah, I hope this video was a bit, I'm even seeing now it's like 20 something minutes. So I hope this video is a lot more in depth. You lot get to learn and understand a bit more how I see the charts and how I view the markets and a bit more about the system, my system, innit? So yeah. And if you lot need some more help, then boy, join the Discord because this is as most as I'm going to do for free, do you know what I'm saying? I literally created this strategy. So yeah. Obviously I'll try to help as much as I can with the free stuff on YouTube, which I'm doing, and in the comments when I reply, but bro, I'm not doing everything for free, do you know what I mean? Treat this like uni. This is uni, fam. When you go uni, nothing ain't free. You gotta pay. So this is the trading university, you get me? If you wanna learn, come to the group, man. But yeah, man. Hope you lot enjoyed that. Be back for the next video, man. And other than that, out.